Hey, this is Chris, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about 4 ways that can help you get into the present moment.
I would love to meditate if I could do it, I just can't.
I feel as if meditating and yoga has definitely helped me come a long way since I've started.
Think about how powerful that is along with meditation. A lot of people, what they do is they think about the past or the future, and none of their focus is in the present moment, this moment. So what you want to do is have most of your attention in this moment and then just a little bit in the past and present. So let's say you're thinking about doing something, right? You don't want to be daydreaming about, oh, what happened in the past, or you don't want to be thinking, oh, what am I going to do in 10 years time or 2 years time, whatever. And you're not focused on what's happening right now in this moment. And that's the most important moment, because you can make changes in this moment. In the future, you'll know exactly what's going to happen. And you say, oh, when I get this great job, or when I get married, then I'm going to feel, like I was talking about in the video on meditation, when I get married, I'm going to feel fantastic, or whatever. Or when I have kids, then I'm going to feel great, or whatever. Or when the kids grow up, then this will happen, or whatever. Or when I create my own business, then I'll be happy. But you don't know, or you might say, or you might be anxious about the future, like, oh, I'm not looking forward to this or this. Like, there's an interview next week, I'm not looking forward to it. So then you become anxious. Or maybe a date, you become anxious ahead of a date. But you don't know exactly what's going to happen in that interview, or next year, or whatever. You don't know exactly. And then in the past, you're going to say, oh, I'm sad because my ex broke up with me. Or you think about, oh, something was great in the past. How can I get this back? How can I get that back? Okay? Maybe, that was really good. And you reflect on the past, and so great in the past, but you're not happy in the present moment. So you try to go away from the present moment. You try to distract yourself so you're not focused on the present moment. But that's the best moment, this moment, because that's what you do have control. You have control over the present moment. You can think about what you want to do in the future, but don't have your whole focus in the future. You can plan for something in the future, or you can take references from the past, but most of your attention should be in the present moment, this moment. One of the first steps how you practice this, okay, is the one that I've talked about before, which is meditation. Do you only use meditate?
No.
Not since we left school.
Would you ever consider doing that, or?
Yeah, I would. I quite liked it when I was in school, and they do it quite often.
They do.
Yeah.
I don't think my school ever did it really.
Really? Yeah, no. We used to have it quite often.
We used to do it, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't meditate. I pray, but I don't meditate. No, explain to me. Yeah, well, yeah.
And do you think it would be beneficial if you did? Would it be beneficial?
Well, I'd have to understand maybe what meditation is to begin with. You know what I mean? Because I've never done it before, and I've never had someone teach me to do it. So you know, perhaps I could be. You know, I have no idea. I'd love to know more about it. You know, but I'm ignorant. I guess I'm ignorant on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think a lot of people are.
No, I just feel more relaxed after it, and not as stressed and stuff. Yeah.
Would you make time to do that, or?
I think I would. Yeah, maybe in the evenings or something when I came home from work or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I try to meditate like about 10 minutes a day. Not all the time. I fell out of the practice of it, but I felt that it's very helpful for me anyways. Just like sit down, just try not to think about anything, just conscious of my breath, all that stuff. And I do find it helpful for productivity anyways.
So you notice a big difference then?
I don't notice a big difference, but I heard other people who are more consistent notice a bigger difference.
I pray, similar, yeah. Just take quiet time in the morning to ground yourself, yes. Yeah.
Do you have to say?
I'm not into meditating, can't do it. I can't focus.
Would you like to be able to focus on?
I would love to meditate if I could do it, I just can't.
Can I ask you, why do you think you can't focus?
I don't know. I can't shut my brain off, I don't know. I've tried.
It can help shut your brain off.
I know. I've tried it. Yeah.
So meditate. Try to meditate every day, and that'll help you. That'll train you to be in the present moment. Okay? Because when you focus on your breath, for example, just say you're meditating, you're focused on your breath, then you won't be thinking about, like, if you're focusing right, you won't be thinking about tomorrow or next week, or you won't be thinking about what happened last year. You'll be just thinking about today, right at this moment. Your breath, because your breath, if you focus on your breath, the breath that's naturally going in and out as it's in that second, that moment. You're not thinking about anything else. Or you can focus on the sensation, maybe your feet touching the ground, okay? The sensation of that. Or maybe if you're doing mudras, okay, which is like when you put your index finger and your thumb touch each other like that. You probably see people like that meditating with their eyes closed, and they're in a lotus position, so their legs kind of crossed, and they focus on that sensation. Sometimes they focus on the breath. They're just in that pose just to stay still and sit up straight. Or you can kind of just let it naturally go, where wherever comes up, like, oh, now I focus on my breath, I've noticed my breath, or now I focus this. And if your mind gets distracted, then bring yourself back to the present moment. Like, you get distracted, you say, oh yeah, what am I going to have for dinner later? And then you realize, oh, I'm thinking. And you get, and don't beat yourself up for thinking. Like I said in the meditation video, don't beat yourself up for thinking. Just realize that you're not in the present moment, and then bring yourself. That actually means that you're in the present moment. By, like what Eckhart Tolle says, by noticing that you're not in the present moment, that means you are in the present moment. Because you're noticing it. You go, oh, I'm not in the present moment. And then come back into present moment. Okay, so check out my video anyway on meditation, and that'll go into detail about this stuff.
I like it, but I haven't done it that much, but I actually really do want to start doing it more. It seems like, I don't know, just a good way to clear your head.
I meditate.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
And do you notice, like, what type of benefit do you get from it?
I started meditating like 2 years ago, and I feel as if since I started, it's definitely helped. I used to be very negative about my thinking. I have my own little mental health problems I do deal with. So I feel as if meditating and yoga has definitely helped me come a long way since I've started. Yeah.
So what you say, meditating and yoga?
Yes, I do both.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. And you do a particular technique, or?
I have this app, so I have an app on my phone that kind of helps with meditation. Anything that you haven't done before, you can do it. Same with yoga. Anything that's new, I just kind of follow what she's doing, and then sometimes it kind of becomes like you regularly know what to do, if that makes sense. Yeah.
It's just calming yourself down and maybe focus on the breath, or just on the sound, but don't get attached to the sound. Kind of just and just sit in a quiet place, preferably. So that's the first step, right? The second step, or the second technique that you can use, it's not really a technique, but the second thing you can use is do like a meditation retreat, or just be in isolation, solitude for a while. So I think I mentioned this in my video on meditation before, where what I did was, I did a 10-day Vipassana retreat. Okay, so for 10 days, we just meditated. Okay, it was a group of people, and you couldn't talk to other people. So basically, you're just staying here. This was ran on a voluntary basis, so you just kind of donation basis, right? So the people that work there are kind of like volunteers, because they found value in it. So then they worked there, and then what you did was you did 1 hour sessions of meditation. Just sit in a room. You couldn't talk to anyone else though, and you couldn't have your mobile. You had no outside contact with the outside world. You're just based in that area that you're staying. You notice, so when you get back into the open world, then like you get sucked back in quick though. Or you can just do a thing where you just, like, in the space of 24 hours, you could do it where you do like 6 or 7 hours of pure meditation. So what you do is like maybe like a few half-an-hour sessions. I don't mean like where you're sitting there straight for 6 hours. I mean where you maybe do an hour session, and then a couple hours later you do an hour session again. Or a whole weekend where you do multiple hours, and maybe you just tell other people like that you think would want to contact you. Oh, I'm not going to be free for the next day or two, okay, or something, whatever. Right? So maybe do that once a month, or do the Vipassana or some meditation retreat. Maybe set up your own one to do even by yourself, a solo one, even. Just because that kind of like firepowers, that kind of like that boosts it. So when you go back to doing your 15 minutes meditation a day or your half-an-hour meditation a day, that'll kind of like skyrocket it. So if you do that every month, or every couple of months even, or you did a meditation retreat, that's going to improve it, okay? Or if you just even went to park, or and didn't bring your phone with you for a few hours, even something like that, start with, and then go a bit bigger and increase it from there. So I'd recommend you do one of those. Okay, so that's the second thing. The third thing that you could do is you could do things that remind you of being in the present moment. So what does that mean? Or just say if like you have maybe you have a stopwatch and you set it to every 90 minutes. So every 90 minutes when the stopwatch goes off, then you have to focus on your breath. You have to or remind yourself, oh, be in the present moment. So your stopwatch goes off, that reminds you to be in the present moment. Now obviously like if you're in work, you maybe don't want the stopwatch to go off. But like if you're at home and you're cooking dinner, or if you're maybe on the laptop doing some work or something, or whatever you're doing, right? Or even talking to a friend or talking to your family, then when the stopwatch goes off, that's, oh yeah, now I have to be in the present moment. Then another technique for doing this, okay, is to like maybe wear a wristband. So I wear these wristbands, kind of elastic ones, right? So why you'd use that is because then when you see that on your wrist, or whenever you feel it touch against your skin, then that reminds you, oh, I have to be in the present moment. So, so you can see how powerful this is, right? Along with meditation. If you're doing meditation and then you're adding in this, even if this only helps a little bit, the odd time, a couple of times a day, you notice it for a few seconds, think about how powerful that is along with meditation and along with doing these retreats or being in solitude. Think about all this, okay? How powerful that's going to be. Or in your work area, okay? In work space, maybe you put up like if there's a whiteboard, maybe put up present moment or focus on the breath or something to remind you. Or maybe put up a sticker or something that reminds you to be in this moment, right? Some writing, something in your car that reminds you when you hop into your car, you see it kind of in front of you, or on your desktop wallpaper on your your laptop or something, or your computer. And then step 4 is to do other healthy habits. So like people are thinking, like if I say to people, oh, eat healthy, or sleep well, or develop better relationships, right? Or get more fresh air. How's that going to help me be more in the present moment, okay? Because like if you're meditating, right, and you're not eating healthy, then your brain's going to be all over the space. You're going to have a like short attention span, right? You're not going to be able to focus. Okay, you're going to be tired, and when you're tired, right, like if you sleep poorly as well, if you're tired, then you're going to be like stressed. And how are you going to be in the present moment? You meditate, and then you're all stressed and thinking too much. Like if you feel better, if you're doing all those habits and feeling better, then it's going to be easier to sit down and meditate. Don't use that as an excuse. So, oh, because I was out yesterday and I got a meal when I was out, or got a snack when I was out, and it was unhealthy, now I can't meditate. Don't use that as an excuse. Still meditate, but try to eat healthy, sleep well, develop better relationships, get fresh air, detox from heavy metals and other stuff as well. There's a lot of other stuff, right? If you're doing all those habits, right, or even some of them, like starting small and then building, then like of course it's going to help you be more in the present moment. It's going to help with the meditation. So implement those 4 habits and then see how you feel. And also, it's not a race. So it's not like, oh, I need to be enlightened tomorrow, or I need to be more in the present moment tomorrow. It's not like that. You start small and then you build. Okay, let's say if you meditate even for 5 minutes and you started eating a bit healthier, or maybe sleeping a little bit better, and you didn't implement all the habits. Maybe you won't get any results after 5 minutes. You're struggling, you're stressed out, and you're not getting any results. Then you say, oh, it's 3 months in and I'm not getting results. Well, it's only 3 months, and maybe you have to change up your meditation retreat. Or maybe you have to add in, or maybe the diet you're following isn't the right diet, or maybe whatever else, one of the other habits. Even me, I'm not perfect with all these by any stretch of the imagination, but I notice little results when I'm working on things and I'm focusing on them. Like I was out yesterday and I ate unhealthy. Okay, I usually stick to my diet because I was with a friend. I said, oh, I'll go out just for a meal, but it wasn't the healthiest meal in the world, and I felt all lethargic after it. I wasn't feeling good, and then I'm sitting down and trying to meditate, and then it's not as good. It's not as good of a session. Okay, I'm sleepy. I have to sleep longer. Do you know what I mean? Things like that, and then other health aspects that I need to overcome as well. But if you try as much as you can and try to meditate every day, and then add in those other things like the other healthy aspects, and then you add in those things where the reminders, like the wristband thing, or maybe like the do your things with the alarm thing or whatever, or the notices, things to remind you. Okay, then if you do those things, and then you add in like the solitude, being in solitude for a while, or doing the retreat, some type of meditation retreat or something, then you're going to be happier and healthier, and you're going to be in the present moment more often. Okay, so take it slow and then build on it. Okay, and don't get discouraged because you didn't get results for a while, or people saying, oh, that's not going to work or whatever. Just, you can always review it and examine it better and then switch it up a little bit, but don't just like kind of go off it and say, forget all this. Don't. Just kind of maybe take up a different approach, or maybe wait longer and be more patient. Okay, and we can discuss all this in the future, in future videos, right, about how to do this and etc. Go more deeper into these topics, right? So hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, share, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.